Even if you're not a fan, you've probably heard of NCT, especially because of their system that, at first glance, might seem complicated. With more than 20 members, subunits with different concepts, members who belong to more than one group, constant entries, exits, and changes, it's normal to get a little confused. I speak from personal experience. But the truth is that NCT's system is much easier to understand than it seems. That's why in this video, I'm going to explain how NCT works, from the concept behind the group and its subunits, to the recent changes in the lineup, member entries and exits, and even some of the latest scandals. And don't worry if you're already an NCT, because this video will also help you follow the timeline of all the unexpected events that have happened with the group recently. In early 2016, SM Entertainment's founder, Lee Soo-man, gave a presentation titled Town New Culture Technology 2016. During this event, he introduced and explained the concept behind the new group the agency planned to debut soon. This group would be called NCT, an acronym for Neo Culture Technology. The agency's idea was to launch a boy group that aligned with their cultural content strategy with an innovative concept, an unlimited number of members who would debut gradually. Additionally, NCT would be divided into multiple subunits based in various cities around the world, with members from different countries such as South Korea, China, Japan, the United States, Thailand, and Canada, with the possibility of members collaborating with each other, creating a flexible and dynamic system. In simpler terms, I think there's one concept that fits the group perfectly: limitless. To better understand how NCT's system works, let's take a look at how it was implemented. On April 9, 2016, the first subunit, NCT-U, debuted with the release of the single The Seventh Sense, performed by Taeyong, Doyoung, Ten, Jaehyun, and Mark. The following day, they released Without You, performed by Tae, Doyoung, and Jaehyun, with a Chinese version performed by Kuan. The name NCT-U, United, reflects the concept of being a rotating unit without fixed members. Any NCT member can participate, depending on who fits best with the concept of each song. This allows for flexible formations, from duos to larger groups, adapting to each release. The next subunit to debut was NCT 127 on July 1, 2016, with Fire Truck. This unit consisted of Tae, Taeyong, Yuta, Jaehyun, Winwin, Mark, and Haechin. The number 127 refers to the length of Seoul, as this subunit is based in the capital of South Korea, with the aim of expanding K-pop from its epicenter to the rest of the world. In 2017, with the comeback of Limitless, 2 new members were added, Johnny and Doyoung. Later, in January 2018, as part of the NCT 2018 project, Lucas, Kuan, and Youngwoo joined the group. Within this project, NCT-U made a return with the song Boss, marking the debut of Lucas and Youngwoo. Later, Youngwoo officially joined NCT 127 with the release of Regular. On the other hand, Winwin was absent due to his preparations for future promotions in China. Thus, NCT 127's lineup was formed by 9 members: Taeyong, Tae, Yuta, Johnny, Doyoung, Jaehyun, Youngwoo, Mark, and Haechin. The last subunit to debut in 2016 was NCT Dream, which was introduced in August with Chewing Gum. It was made up of the youngest members of NCT: Mark, Rinjun, Jino, Haechin, Jaemin, Chinla, and Jisung. Initially, NCT Dream had a graduation concept, where members had to leave the unit once they reached adulthood. In fact, Mark was the first to graduate after the promotions for We Go Up. However, after the release of their 4th EP Reload in 2020, the agency removed the graduation system, allowing Mark to return and consolidating the unit with its original 7 members up until now. In December 2018, WayV was announced, initially known as NCT China. Its lineup included 4 members already active in NCT: Kuan, Ten, Winwin, and Lucas, along with 3 new members: Xiaojun, Hendry, and Yonghyun. WayV debuted on January 17, 2019, with the digital single division, which included a Chinese version of NCT 127's Regular. Although managed by SM's subsidiary, Label V, due to political tensions between China and South Korea, WayV is still recognized as a subunit of NCT. Since 2018, NCT has released large-scale albums featuring all active members at the time. In these projects, members from different units are mixed into new formations under NCT U. Additionally, they usually include a title track performed by all members. These albums are released under the name NCT plus year of release. These projects include NCT 2018 Empathy, NCT 2020 Resonance Part 1 and Part 2, NCT 2021 Universe, NCT 2023 Golden Age. In NCT 2020 Resonance Part 1, 2 new members were introduced: Shotaro, who debuted with Make-A-Wish, and Sungchan with 90s Love. Both were announced as part of a future new subunit. This is how the first NCT subunits were formed, somewhat complex, but with a clear structure that allows flexibility and the constant evolution of the group. In 2021, the first major scandal involving an NCT member emerged. During that year, several rumors surfaced regarding the romantic past of Lucas, a member of WayV. In August, a controversy in Korea gained traction after an anonymous post was published by a supposed ex-girlfriend of Lucas, accusing him of infidelity and emotional manipulation to obtain expensive gifts. Later, 2 other Chinese netizens claimed to have had romantic relationships with him. According to them, Lucas had contacted them as fans to establish a relationship, but the idol had been dating both of them at the same time. The accusations were accompanied by alleged Kakao or WeChat conversations that the netizens posted to support their testimonies. However, the authenticity of these pieces of evidence was questioned, and SM Entertainment did not issue an official statement regarding the matter. Nevertheless, Lucas offered a public apology through his social media, apologizing for disappointing his fans due to his past actions. He also announced a hiatus to reflect on his actions, typical of SM. This announcement coincided with the planned release of the song Jalapeno, which was to be a single by Lucas and Hendery, but it was cancelled by the agency. SM Entertainment issued an official statement, informing that Lucas would take a hiatus to reflect on the allegations made by his ex-partners. The statement expressed that the artist was deeply contemplating the pain and disappointment caused by his wrongful actions and took responsibility for the lack of management over the artist. Despite the controversy, some fans supported Lucas, suggesting that some photos might have been edited and that certain audio recordings came from a bubble compilation. However, none of the accusations were ever confirmed or denied. Since then, Lucas did not participate in NCT or WayV activities, although he made sporadic updates on social media since February 2022. Finally, in May 2023, SM Entertainment announced that, after a careful deliberation process between Lucas and the agency, it was decided that Lucas would leave NCT and WayV to focus on his solo career. Lucas posted a letter on social media explaining his decision. After much deliberation and reflection, I made the difficult decision to part ways with NCT and WayV. I will cherish these memories and never forget them. I hope the members remember me as Huang Xuxi, not just as Lucas. In 2024, Lucas posted a photo on Instagram suggesting his return to music. Shortly after, he released a documentary on YouTube titled Lucas Part 1 Freeze, in which he addressed the controversy, his personal struggle, and his reflections on his mistakes. On April 1, 2024, he marked his return with the release of his first solo single, Renegade. On the other hand, in May 2023, SM Entertainment announced the departure of Sungchan and Shotaro from NCT, as they were preparing to debut in a new boy group, which would later be known as Rise. In the same statement, SM explained that their new group would mark the end of the unlimited expansion of NCT, and that the goal was to create a new unit with a distinct regional identity, with an increase in the number of Japanese members. However, the biggest scandal for NCT occurred in August 2024 when SM Entertainment announced the disassociation of Taeil due to sexual assault allegations. The statement detailed that Tail had been accused in a criminal case related to a sexual offense, and after reviewing the evidence, it was decided that he could not continue his activities with the group. SM publicly apologized for the concern and inconvenience caused. Subsequently, more details emerged about the case, which involved Tail and 2 accomplices, accused of sexually assaulting a woman who was intoxicated. If the charges are confirmed, Tail could face a prison sentence of up to 7 years or even life imprisonment, according to South Korea's laws on sexual crimes. Let's hope everything goes well and justice can be served for the victim. To wrap up this video on a more positive note, I saved this topic for the end. On April 17, 2023, NCT Dojaeon, the 5th subunit of NCT, made their debut with the EP Perfume, formed by Doyoung, Jaehyun, and Youngwoo, who are also part of NCT 127. On the other hand, in February 2023, SM Entertainment confirmed that NCT Tokyo would debut later that year, marking the final expansion of the Infinite expansion of NCT. In May 2023, SM revealed that 2 Esperanto would be included in this new subunit, and the rest of the members would be selected through a survival program. The final lineup of what we knew as NCT New Team was announced at the end of the program, and the group consisted of Jaehee, Riku, Yushir, Youngmin, Shawn, Rio, and Sakuya. They also released the single Hands Up in October 2023 as a preview of their debut, which was scheduled for 2024. Before their debut in late 2023, SM Entertainment released a statement announcing that Youngmin, who had been absent from recent performances, had left the group for health reasons. That same year, the group opened for the rest of NCT during the NCT Nation to the World Tour concerts held in Japan. In January 2024, NCT Wish was announced as the official name of the new subunit from Tokyo. The name reflects their mission to support everyone's dreams through music and love. On February 28, 2024, they debuted with the song Wish, released in both Japanese and Korean versions. Although it might seem a bit complicated, in my opinion, NCT's system is one of the most ingenious and innovative out there today, not just in K-pop. And honestly, I really like it. I mean, I'm a fan for a reason. I think NCT brought a breath of fresh air to an industry that can sometimes feel a bit monotonous. Despite the recent controversies, I believe in the talent of the current members and their ability to overcome challenges. Thanks for watching the video. Stand NCT for a cleaner skin.